Hey everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So on today's video, I am canning some more apples. I have a close friend of mine that wanted me to can some of her apples for her. And so we're actually using her as your standard jars, lids, and rings to test them out. I have never used them before, so this is gonna be exciting. So let's get into the video.
I'm coming home.
All right, so as you'll see right here, because I did a short on it, I did the first kind of batch as in apples and water. All of my recipes usually come from the Balls. Let me just go ahead and get it. It's the complete book of home preserving. Y'all know I talk about it all the time. It is in my Amazon shop if you want to grab it for you. Holidays are coming up. It's a great gift to give. But all the recipes are from this book, but I will leave them in the description box below. So that was the first one. And let me just tell you, the quality of the lids felt good because, you know, I normally use strictly solely 4 jars. Now, if you have not tried 4 jars, they are the best of the best for the canning lid. It's going to be very hard for as your standards lids to compete with 4 jars. But make sure that you go grab you some 4-jar lids. The link's in our Linktree link below. It gets you 10% off. I'll leave the discount code on the screen. Azure Standard, if you have not heard about Azure Standard, I will leave the link down below. Head on over there. It is great. It's basically organic food service from local farms, local and small farms. A lot of the homesteading channels use it. You've heard it probably a billion times before. But they have canning stuff now, y'all. Crazy. So that is what we are trying today. I'm going to show you the cans. We're going to feel out the quality, test out the quality with canning them. All of the stuff that I'm doing today is a water bath canning, but I am doing it in my pressure canner only because I didn't feel like getting down the water bath canner, so I'm just not going to seal it all the way. I'm going to be water bath canning inside that pot. But we'll test out and feel, and I'll show you the quality of the lids and the rings, so on and so forth, and hopefully give you some great ideas for recipes. So let's go ahead and pop this box open, and I'm going to show you what the jars look like. Alrighty, y'all. So I'm doing this without my stand today, so bear with me, yeah? Because I don't have my tripod. But yes. Okay, so initially, the feel, weight-wise, same as your ball jars that you probably have from your grandparents or that you got at thrift stores or wherever it was. Same, maybe a little bit lighter. I don't know. Let's do a test. Let's do a test on cam. All right. I'm in my canning room, y'all. Okay, here we go. So as y'all see, this is one of the ball ones that I've had. Size-wise, well, let me turn you around and see. Pretty much the same. Well, they're both pints. And this one feels just a smidge maybe heavier, but that's probably because I have this on. But yeah, so far, weight good. I'm impressed. I mean, they're pretty. I mean, I actually prefer the Azure Standard look to the ball one because there's just so much stuff. You can never put a label on the ball canning ones because there's no smooth spot on the can at all. The rings, I'll say it's a little flimsy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But remember, I am used to 4-jar rings and lids now. They're a lot more high quality. They're a lot more dense, durable. These are a little flimsy. It's got a good seal, I can tell that. You got blue under there. Gonna be real, they feel good. I mean, they feel sturdy, they feel hefty. You know, the ball ones, especially nowadays, the ball ones are getting so flimsy with their lids. And maybe, again, that's because I use 4-jar so much that the quality is just not meeting the 4-jar standards. But this, as your standard, y'all stepping it up, I see. Only thing that I don't like is that right there in the middle, because then you got a label around it, and that's raggedy. I don't like doing that. So I will say that as a womp. So far, my liking. Weight, durability, the ring's a little flimsy, and I don't like the wording right there. Don't like it. But let's go ahead and get some stuff canned and see how it works. This is one that I'm doing. So these are the apples. I just put a little bit of water so it didn't burn at the bottom. I'm just gonna let them boil a little bit, and then we're gonna add in some seasoning to get some applesauce going, and I will blend it up and can that. So that's one of the little recipes we're doing today. And the water bath canner right now, or the pressure canner that's acting as a water bather, is just regular apples and water. That can be used for toppings for ice cream, for more applesauce if you run out, topping for pancakes, pretty much anything during the winter. So I'm not even going to pay attention to any of this because you see it's not sealed all the way. So we're just waiting for it to boil, and then I'll start my timer. And then I had already started differently, but to give to her because she loves these, with my 4-jar lids, is apple pie filling. So it is so super yummy. Again, the discount or the recipe will be in the description box below. For this recipe, it is a recipe from the book that I talked about before. Alrighty, and we do have more apples. These apples are going to be used for the Apple BBQ sauce that I actually have already made and tried, and it's fabulous. I got the recipe over from Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead. It is an amazing recipe. Great to have for roast and crock pot meals during the winter. So this is what this is for. So I'm putting aside. First thing that we're adding, once I blended this up with my immersion blender right over there, is 3 cups of cane sugar. Now, this is optional in the recipe if you don't want it sweet, but I'm going to go ahead and add that cane sugar in because this is for the holidays, so it will be used for a dessert, and it's just popping all over the place. All right, I'm doing 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and now all of the measurements of this is really up to you for your taste, but that's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, teaspoon of allspice, half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna give it a stir. Make sure it's all blended in. Y'all, I wish there was smell-o-vision because it smells amazing. But I'm gonna let this sit and simmer. It's off, but it's hot. So I'm gonna let it simmer with this in there before I go ahead and put it in the canning jars. All the dogs are running crazy. All right, the next one is I'm doing barbecue sauce. So I've got my frozen tomatoes in here. This is apple, you want equal parts apples and tomatoes, but these are frozen, so I'm just gonna let them sit here on the stove, and I'm going to put it on kind of a medium-high heat and let it boil for a while before adding the apples. Alrighty, so this is equal parts of the tomatoes now and the apples. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna let it boil down a little bit, and then we're gonna immersion blend it and add some seasoning. Alrighty, y'all, so it is the next day, and I am so excited to announce, I'm gonna take the rings off so you can see, that all of the Azure Standard lids sealed. I'm completely shocked. Well, not shocked, but I mean, you know, most people, unless you're using 4 jars, know that you're not gonna get 100% seal rate. Now, all of mine are already put away in my canning room, but the ones that I did with the Azure Standard one are all here and ready. I've labeled them for my friend. She'll be picking them up at market on Friday, so in a couple days. So this is exciting. Well, y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video of me testing these Azure Standard jars. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Make sure you're subscribing as well, because that helps my channel to grow and, you know, all the analytics and all that mumbo jumbo. Also, share this video on social media to all of your like-minded friends. It helps me to grow as well. And while you're there, click that like at our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter, our Threads. Yeah. So I'll see you on the next video. Y'all be blessed.
I'm coming